Paper Mario used to be one of Nintendo's staple franchises that was known for its simple but elegant battle system. With the release of these two games being a lot of people's favorites, Intelligent Systems thought to themselves, they clearly want something different, so they tried something new with Super Paper Mario. Then they kept trying something new despite fans asking for them to return to the original way these games were. Turn-based with a reason to battle. EXP, badges, partners, whole lot of it. After taking a look at both Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door and Super Paper Mario over the past few months, I think it's time I complete the trilogy of what people consider the greats of the franchise, even though I liked the Origami King. Just like with the other ones, I'll be going through the game in the chapter format, as not only does it make the video 10 times longer than it normally would be, but I get to have so much more fun making it. So grab a snack, maybe fold yourself a bowl for some popcorn. I'm not sorry. Sit back and relax as we take a look at just what made Paper Mario 64 so great. As someone who doesn't own this game physically because, well, the only way I was able to experience this game for the very first time was through the virtual console on my Wii U. It was a pleasant experience, all things considered. The N64 emulation on the Wii U isn't the greatest, but it definitely got the job done. I don't know why it was extremely dark. It's like someone turned the brightness on my television down. Since it's now way easier to abandon that version, the Nintendo Switch Online one will be my go-to way to experience it, so I hope it's a lot better. Without any more delay, let's jump right in. The story of the Star Spirits atop Star Summit at Star Haven. Alright, I get it. They are stars. These spirits are the ones that watch over the world and grant the wishes to some by using the Star Rod. Cammy and Bowser somehow end up in the middle of a retelling and steal the rod, all so they can take down Mario and kidnap Peach. Okay. The Star Spirits then get turned into the 7 Souls and are scattered throughout the Mushroom Kingdom. Fast forward, it seems our pesky plumbers have been cordially invited to a party at Princess Peach's castle. We all know where this is going. We head to the castle, get on our hands and knees and beg this toad to let us snoop inside her bedroom. Oh, cool. She has a framed picture of me. Her wardrobe is, looking quite... how should I say this? It's the same fucking thing. Oh look, Bowser. And he's raising the castle into the air. Out of all kidnap attempts, I gotta say, this one's pretty cool. Not sure how he built a whole castle underneath, but I won't question it. I know it was the Star Rod, but I like to think he had a whole construction zone underneath Peach's castle. Okay, fine, Bowser. Let's fight. I'll just... oh, he made himself invincible with the thing and killed Mario. Yep, it's official. Mario's dead. Oh, he's really dead. Bowser, just leave his dead body alone. Why the fuck isn't it centered? That's really gonna bug me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I gonna have to blur this? Because Mario's corpse is just sitting in the middle of the forest, the Star Spirits use the last ounce of their strength to try and revive him. You know, it worked, or else there would be no game. A Goomba girl stumbles upon him, and we have a vision from this old guy. Ooh, I'm being held captive against my will. What the fuck was that? Did you hear something? So this guy wants us to head to this place called Shooting Star Summit. Apparently he has more strength there than he does talking to a corpse. You can't go now because the gate is destroyed. I don't know, Goompapa. The gate looks fine to me. 5 seconds later, the gate is fixed. Oh, but this bitch places a big yellow block. Those blocks are impassable. You must break them in order to progress. So we need to go ask Goomba for his hammer. Yep, he's a real carpenter, alright. Almost sent me right to my death. After finding the hammer, we get our battle tutorial because, for some reason, this motherfucker has it out for us. Trust me, you'll be seeing him again. We've done nothing except maybe trespassing on his playground. As per usual, Mario only gets his point across with violence. We are only able to do damage with normal base attacks, which is just kind of boring. Just back and forth. I can't even block. I won't go into detail on the battle system until everything is actually available. There's no reason to when I'd just be complaining. After struggling, we finally get access to badges. That didn't take very long. Alright, without further ado, let's do this. Onward to battle. So, the battle system in Paper Mario is a teeny bit more simplistic than its successor. There's no stylish moves, there's no super guarding, there's no regular guarding as a matter of fact. You only have a few things you can do. All of the moves that deal damage require you to input an action command. I'm looking at you, Yakuza. Just pull back the control stick while using the hammer to bash someone's skull in. Press A at the right time while jumping to do more damage. When an enemy is attacking, if you press A at the right time, you'll block the damage, lessening the impact. And then there were items. These usually involve healing yourself, or dealing damage. Don't require action commands, so you're lucky. Oh yeah, you also have the do nothing button. Cool. Badges come into play here by giving you the ability to add extra moves to our main man Mario. You can only equip as much as the amount of BP you currently have. In order to increase it, you must earn EXP or star points. Once you've earned 100, you'll enter the level up screen. Here's where you choose to upgrade between health points, flower power / flower points, and badge points. Because I'm a 1000-year door player through and through, it's BP all the way, no questions asked. Gotta have as many badges as humanly possible. At least I'd like to say that, but in this game, Mario's stats actually max out really quickly. HP maxes out at 50, FP is 50, and BP is 30. I really don't like this, and I'm glad they changed it in TTYD. How am I supposed to do my Danger Mario build if I can barely hold all the badges I need at the same time? By the end of the game, you are probably gonna have a total of like 6 badges or something equipped if you're trying to go for as much damage as possible like I was. The hammer ends up becoming completely useless as the mythical power bounce does more damage than any hammer could. Despite my gripes with being so limited here, I will always praise a system like this to some degree. I absolutely love being able to build my Mario the way I want him. I sadly can't do glass cannon builds in this game since I'm trying to level up, so the Danger Mario dream is sadly dead. The first 3/4 of the game, I'd probably say the combat is way more balanced, which I don't really mind. The hammer gets to be just as useful as the boots, and since you aren't able to really obtain duplicate badges other than a few of them like Power Plus, you can't make Mario do as much damage as whatever the fuck this is. The 1000-Year Door has a more satisfying combat system, while this game feels a lot more balanced, which I kinda like a lot more. Power Bounce will always just be the most ridiculous thing ever. I'll be talking more about the combat system as we continue since it gets more involved later on. Oh, and there's bosses, so of course I'll need to talk about them. Alright, back to the game. Fucking Goombario? You can't be serious, right? They actually named him that? I don't think I could come up with anything better, I'll be honest. But Goombario will always just be so funny to me. Okay, so he is our first partner. We finally have access to partners. Okay, this will be quick, I promise. Partners are very different in this game. They don't have any health, they can't guard, they can't use items. All they can do is attack, and that's it. They all basically have the same action commands as well. That's one of the things I really enjoyed about TTYD. Each partner had different actions to perform their attacks. It wasn't just spam A or flick the joystick left repeatedly, or hold the stick back. It was way more interesting, but it's not like it's terrible here. Although I wish for more variety, it gets the job done, and I love it for that. Goombario is a very basic partner. He uses the tattle enemies, which show their stats, and he gives his own thoughts on them. He can head bonk, but that's not all. When you upgrade the partners, they'll gain more moves, therefore increasing their overall damage output. When upgraded, Goombario gets access to charge, which increases his damage until he attacks, and then he gets multi-bonk. Multi-bonk can be really good, but what's holding him back is the fact that they decided to make it suck ass, most likely unintentionally. Both multi-bonk and power bounce have caps. Both Mario's and Goombario's attack gets capped when they miss or the game forces one onto you. Mario's cap resets, allowing him to do the same amount every time, whereas Goombario's doesn't. Weird way to hold him back from being one of the greats. Eventually we stumble across Red and Blue Goomba. These guys get absolutely destroyed, so they go and cry to King Goomba. I know it's the prologue, but he also got his shit rocked. We then get our first interlude. Almost nothing happens in these, I'll be quite honest. I won't really be talking about it too much unless something really big happens. We get introduced to these guys named the Koopa Bros, who are just a bunch of idiots, but hey, Bowser was impressed with them, so they must be worth something. Toad Town is this game's hub area. Just like with Rogueport, this is a massive area that stretches way underneath the town, unlocking more of it as you progress. There's a few mini bosses down there, a few of which I feel I did way too early and almost died, but they're there. You have Club 64, Cooking, my main man here Merlin, my dogs, and last but not least, Rusty. Yeah, he doesn't actually do anything, I just wanted to mention him. They also have a dojo where you can battle some strong characters. You'll fight Chon, Lee, and the Master. How about the Master again? And again. If you know what you're doing, these fights are actual cakewalks. Pretty cool optional fights though. Man, I love gambling. I must find out which pick I'll get from this egg. I can't stop. Something you'll notice here is that the Toads have actual designs. They aren't all just the exact same character copy and pasted. Man, I wish they kept doing this in future Mario games. I actually quite like Toad Town. It's a quiet, little peaceful town. Far different vibe from Rogueport, which is definitely okay. Something I really love about this game is how the world feels a lot more connected to each other. Instead of just hallways, sometimes we get curving paths and elevation. It's a lot more environmentally interesting than TTYD, but nothing will compare to the way that Origami King did it. That game has the best environment in any one of these games. Anyways, after finding out this whole area actually exists next to Peach's castle, we eventually meet up with the Star Spirits at the top of Star Summit. Yeah, not gonna question why they had to do it here, but okay, I guess. Just in case you don't watch the intro, they tell you how Bowser stole the rod. They then ask you to retrieve them all so they can give you the strength to fight Bowser even when he's invincible. Okay, fine, I'll go do it. Peach is sitting here complaining about the fact she can't do anything. There's not a single thought going through her head. Look at those eyes. A little star child named Twink, he sure doesn't look like one. Peach asks him to help her out and give Mario the ability to do action commands. He couldn't do them at all in the entire prologue. Very annoying. Oh my god, the title card is centered. I'm hoping it'll be like that for the rest of them. You can tell the Toads are evil because they're angry, and Toads aren't allowed to have evil, maniacal facial expressions. These aren't Toads at all. They were imposters. Ah, Koopa Village. A peaceful village that gets fucked by pieces of sentient fur. This guy has quite the design to him. I wonder if he's a main character. He says his shell was stolen, so I guess we'll go get it back. Man, I fucking hate the fuzzies. I just can't get the guard timing down. I know this game is strict, but goddamn. I think I might just suck at some of these. Finally, the village is saved. The physics in this universe are straight up an anomaly. We got the guy's shell back, and he's now our next partner. Cooper is really good. I wouldn't say he's the best partner in the game, but he's definitely not bad. Far from it. His base moves are a standard single target attack and one that targets all enemies. Upon being upgraded, he gains the ability to inflict dizzy and deal massive damage with a flaming shell. Definitely top 5 partners. The Koopa Bros fortress just kind of appears out of nowhere. Apparently a star spirit is being held inside. Well, better go after it. The fortress is a pretty cool area. I always love castles in games. Why are castles always the first area in a lot of JRPGs? Kinda weird that I can just clip through this wall to grab this. It'd be really cool if this was unintentional, but who knows? After going through some puzzles by using Cooper to press switches from far away, we fall for a basic trap, and here we are, locked in prison. Just like old times. Super Mario 64 Bomb? Oops, sorry. My bad. Her name is Bombette. Yep, that's right. 3 partners already. That's actually insane. It's only the first chapter. Slow down. So, Bombette is very interesting. I barely used her throughout the entire game. She did in fact get her time to shine near the end, but for the majority of the game, I just used everyone else. She has a body slam and bomb attack. These moves are both just worse versions of either a shell toss or a Mario attack. Her upgrades are way more interesting though. They both involve attacking every enemy. One move just attacks all the ground enemies, and the other one attacks every enemy, no matter the position. I've gotta say, these are probably her most useful abilities. Even her Overworld ability doesn't get used very often. Cracks in the walls only work so many times. I'd say Bombette is probably one of the worst partners in the entire game, purely because she gets overshadowed by literally every other one. The Koopa Bros are a pretty good first boss. I don't count the Goomba King. That guy is barely a boss. Their initial phase is against this massive cool looking Bowser vehicle. What's with the guard timings, man? I can't get this shit down. The second phase, however, is a literal pushover. As long as you can keep them flipped over, the fight is a free win. After beating up the Koopa Bros, we obtain our very first Star Spirit. Star Spirits are special moves that get added to our list of things only Mario can do in combat. Each spirit gives a new move starting with Refresh, which allows us to regain 5 HP and 5 FP upon use. Pretty useful early on considering I wasn't upgrading those stats at all. We get this Star Energy bar added to our HUD. It works exactly like the audience does in TTYD, except you can't bank on the fact that the people in the audience will fill it for you. It only fills up from enemies or focusing. In Peach's interlude, she and Twink sneak out of her room and end up finding and reading Bowser's diary. She then gets caught and sends Twink to tell Mario where the next Star Spirit is, which is in Dry Ruins. Oh, look who wants to fight again. Junior Troopa is back, and he is quite literally messing around. Dude hides in his shell to shield himself. I can literally just charge up and destroy your defense. There's no point in hiding. He dies once again, and that's it. Awesome. I guess that means we should... You know how I said the world felt more connected? Well, immediately, we take the train to Dry Desert. Still more connected than taking a fat pipe in the corner of a sewer to a psychedelic forest. The postman, who we see deliver a message in the beginning of the game, has apparently lost a bunch of letters. Because I'm such a nice person, I grab all these letters for him. Totally not because I have to, since this gap is way too big for Mario to just casually cross. Parakarry decides to join us on our little adventure after totally not begging him to. Parakarry is our first air-based partner. His moveset basically focuses on being able to attack every type of enemy. Unless they are spiky, then you're pretty SOL. His shell shot actually goes through spikes though, so it already beat his original move's weakness. Airlift just takes enemies out of battle for you. Not sure why you'd use this. You lose it on start points, so there's literally no use for it. Area just launches himself all across the screen just because he fucking can. I'd say Cooper is still the best partner so far. Fuck this guy. I love his fight in TTYD, but fuck him. You look a lot like this guy Mario. I'm Luigi. Don't know who this Mario guy is. Alright, let's continue on. Yeah, Mario. So what? Oh, okay, so a fight is what you're looking for, huh? Do you know what kind of shit I have in my arsenal? That's right, power bounce. You are fucked, my friend. Turns out this famous archaeologist, Colorado, yep, I'm talking about the state. He's looking for treasure and must find dry ruins. That's all he cares about. You know, he's kind of like a tamer Flavio. I mean, since he's of absolute zero help to us, let's carry on. Dry Outpost is an interesting little desert town. The shopkeeper decides to dick off somewhere. After catching up to him, he runs off again. This mouse guy offers to trade us some information on him if we give him something to prove we're really nice guys. Fuck, he likes lemons.
Lemons?
Because I love backtracking, we grab him the lemon and trade it for info. Apparently the shopkeep has his hands deep with this guy named Mustafa. If you want to see this Mustafa guy, we gotta buy the right combination of items. Mustafa will never be him. He gives us a stone in order to seek out the ruins because his ancestors watch over the place, or something. Dry ruins may sound like a Mario Kart track, but it's actually a huge tomb filled with poison pokies. I actually hate these guys so much. Luckily, Cooper can take care of them easily. Oh yes, Spike Shield. Hammer slowly becomes more useless as the game goes on. Unlike TTYD, we actually obtain a hammer upgrade first. But sadly, all it does is increase damage and allow us to break these stone blocks. No new moves. Because I have the mental capacity of a literal child, I thought the stone combination would help me. Yeah, it turns out I was very wrong. Throughout the dungeon, this ghost guy will speak to us telling us to leave. Yeah, it's just a Koopa. Toon Koopa is a really easy boss. I'd probably say he's way easier than the Koopa Bros. At least that boss was a little bit more dangerous. Just kill the chain chomp he brings out and the fight is literally free. All Toon Koopa does besides that is throw shells and knock himself out with hallucinations. I know we just got a hammer upgrade, but power bounce is literally the best thing to use here. That's it. That's the fight. The Star Spirit grants us the ability to have a chance at putting every enemy to sleep. When this works, it's good. When it doesn't,
and I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Apparently the next guy on our hit list is some guy named Tubba Blubba, who resides in Forever Forest. He's invincible, but has a weakness. What's the weakness? I don't know. You'll have to find out. Oh yeah, the Star Spirit flew away from captivity, so I guess we'll see them soon. Are you okay, Mr. Toad? What's got you scared? A ghost, you say? Did I see it? Saw. Hey, I know this guy. You're Bootler, aren't you? I've seen you in TTYD. I guess we can go see this guy's master. Apparently, his master has something to say about the Star Spirits. Only makes sense to trust strangers, so I'll head into the forest. Oh fuck, where are we? The Lost Woods? Well, I mean, this is an area with trees where you can easily get lost, so I can see the resemblance. This truly is the Legend of Zelda. Eventually, and I mean eventually, we make it to a mansion where I suppose Bootler's master will be. Took me a little bit because of these damn fuzzies. God, I hate them. Pretty cool interior design. We must get to the 3rd floor, and in order to do that, we gotta do some pretty easy puzzles, if you could even call them that. Getting squashed by a dresser was not one of them. Ooh, playing games with the booze. That one's holding the record. Awesome. First try. Fuck, I suck at rhythm games. After playing the amazing TTYD battle theme, this Boo lets his guard down and we sneak behind and open this chest only to be told to go lift some weights. Fuck this place, dude. I'll just go use it on this conveniently placed chandelier to open up this oh-so-secret passage leading to the basement. Finally, upgrades for my feet. So we can spin jump now? I'm gonna say this again. What do you mean to spin jump? It's clearly a ground pound. Eventually we make it to the 3rd floor. Whoa, is that Bo? She's one of my favorite Mario characters. Too bad she's stuck in spin-off hell. Bo wants us to help her take down this Tubba Blubba guy who's been terrorizing the villagers by, you know, eating them. I'd consider that a bit more than terrorizing, but okay. Oh yeah, she's blackmailing us as well. If we don't help her, then we don't get our precious Star Spirit that she just so happened to kidnap and imprison in a cage just to get leverage on us. Kind of a dick move if I'm being honest. At least she's willing to come help. Bo is probably the best partner in the entire game. Her base attack is a 4 to 6 hit smack depending on her upgrade level. Not to mention, Out of Sight is actually good in this game, unlike Vivian's version. Bo gives Mario the chance to attack, go invisible, then attack immediately afterwards. Veil, on the other hand, does work, but it doesn't let Mario attack immediately, if he'd already gone before Vivian's turn. Kinda sucks, but this is Bo we're talking about, not Best Girl Vivian. Bo has a spook ability that is basically like airlift. Please don't use this. You don't earn any star points. Finally, she gets Fan Smack. This move is a souped up version of her base attack. It just does more damage per hit. Pretty good partner, all things considered. I refuse to believe she's anything but the #1 partner, but that's just my opinion. Tubba Blubba's mansion is very short. Legitimately, all you do is walk through it, obtain some keys to progress, and hide from these claw drones. Fuck, I died. Alright, let's try this again. Gotta grab some keys and hide. Alright, we made it. Right when the big man himself falls asleep, we try to steal the key in the chest right next to him, but to literally everyone's surprise, this key can talk. So it alerts Big Boy over here, and we get chased all the way to this windmill. Alright, let's find out his weakness. It's his heart. He's only invincible because he's separated from his heart, I guess. I'm not sure how that works, but don't ask me. The fight against his heart is actually ridiculously easy to beat. The only issue is the abundance of HP this guy has. 50 HP is an absolute ton, and since he likes to charge up every now and then, it's hard to dish out a ton of damage very fast, but was mainly shielding me constantly. At around 10 HP, this motherfucker just leaves and becomes one with his body again for some reason. The Mario Wiki considers the fight after this a mini-boss. I mean, I'd say so. The guy literally has 10 HP and does no damage. One power bounce, go Goombario! Mr. Tubba Blubba lets all the booze go in exchange for leaving him alone. Apparently, he's a really sensitive guy trapped in a huge body. It's okay, man. Go back to sleep. Fuck no, you're not coming with us. I guess this is the illusion of free choice. Boom, another Star Spirit. PK Starstorm is one of the best spirit abilities. Being able to just dish out 7 damage to all enemies at any given moment is really good. All this interlude revolves around is Peach giving Bowser and Cammy fake info. What fills Mario with dread? If I was being serious, I'd say a fuzzy. God, I hate those things. But obviously, I'll choose the Thunder Rage. Items are the easier option. Oh look, it's Junior Troopa again, but he has a brand new form. Too bad him flying won't even save him. The fights don't get any harder, pal. I'm sorry to break it to you. And he goes down. First try like always. Toad Town is weirdly in an uproar all of a sudden. Shy Guys have taken over the place and stole a bunch of objects from people. Oh, it's like Dark Souls. Should have known there was a fake wall there. Doesn't Mario feel pain from his body shrinking so rapidly? Shy Guy's toy box is the weirdest fucking place in this entire game. Man, I love walking all over children's blocks. What's next? Lego? The choices we told Cammy and Peach's interlude actually do matter. Wow, continuity. The optional fight with the anti-guy took a few tries. Save states are such a lifesaver. Being able to plan out exactly what I need to do in order to survive is just what I needed. I just keep fucking dying. Finally, he's dead. The main part I absolutely love in this chapter is the backtracking. I need to go grab a toy train, fix up Gourmet Guy some grub so he'll move out the fucking way, go talk to this guy about the code for these gift boxes. There's just so much backtracking here that I feel could have been resolved if they just made it easier to return to Toad Town. The spring to leave is in one singular area. You use the train to travel to several other areas, so if you want to leave, well, you've got to take the train back. Just like how they solved the backtracking in Chapter 4 in the TTYD remake. I think they could have easily resolved this if they just had a pipe in each area that took you back to the entrance so you could exit the place. Since there was so much backtracking, each area you currently have unlocked could have had a color-associated pipe to make it faster to travel back. But I digress. Let's get back to the chapter. Eventually we stumble upon this room with this weird ghost-looking guy. Wait, is his name Ghost Guy? Well, as cool as that sounds, it's actually just Big Lantern Ghost. Not as cool sounding. This fight is a really cool gimmick fight. Since it's so dark, you gotta attack his lantern to make it brighter so you can actually hit him. The double-edged sword here is that he can use the lit lantern to attack both you and your partner, knocking them down. Other than that though, he went down pretty easy. Breaking his lantern afterwards, because that's just the most normal thing someone would do, will grant us a new partner by the name of Watt. Watt is definitely top 2 partners. Her base attack ignores defense, she paralyzes enemies, and she can boost Mario's attack. I really loved using her throughout my playthrough. Nothing really happens except going through dark corridors until we reach General Guy barely 3 minutes later. Guess it's time to unleash havoc on an entire army. Dead, 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 and dead. Alright, time to actually focus on killing this guy. Yeah, he's very easy. He does literally one attack and it's throwing a bomb at you as long as you take out his light bulb in one turn, or just keep getting lucky every time. That's why I say I'm a gambling man. Put all my chips on black every time. I never lose. Scratch that. Oh look, my controller's about to die. Awesome. He goes down after a few more power bounces and we earn ourselves our next Star Spirit. This guy just allows us to lower an enemy's attack if we feel like it. Ah yes, chill out. I feel like maybe they could have chosen a better name. They already have 2 things in this game named the exact same. It's like HP Drain and HP Drain. For once, I'm actually gonna tell you absolutely everything that happens in this Peach interlude. Peach sneaks out of her prison cell only to find Gourmet Guy chilling out in her dining room. No pun intended. He basically tells her he'll alert the guards if Peach doesn't make him a cake, so that's exactly what we do. Go all the way down to the kitchen, put the ingredients in the bowl. Hold on, gotta mash real quick. Then we put the cake in the oven, take out an awesome timer, and count up to 30 seconds. What the fuck is this minigame? It's so random and out of nowhere. Who knew a little cooking minigame could be so fun? He then tells us that a star spear is hiding on the island known as Lava Lava Island inside Mount Lava Lava. Creativity never runs dry, but that's okay. You know the drill by now. Twink tells us the info, and we go inside a whale and attack this thing until it just wants out. How did this whale swallow a whole ass boat, you may be asking? I don't know. We're helping out this blushing whale, okay? It gives us the opportunity of a lifetime. It's gonna take us to the island to progress the story. Oh yeah, Colorado is also coming with us. He's after treasure like usual, so spare him no attention. Dude is just unable to protect himself at all. God, I hate fuzzies. Haven't made that clear yet? Oh cool, a Yoshi village. I hope nothing goes wrong. By the way, what even are these things? I'm so confused. I know this is a Toad Inn, but like, how did this guy even get here? Oh look who needs help again. Goombario, let's get out of here. Wait, no, actually I have a better idea. Let's join in. Fine, I'll take out the Shy Guy. Wait, why are there Shy Guys in the forest? Is there a lore reason behind the fact they're even here? Turns out the entrance to the volcano is inaccessible. Back to the village we go. Oh no, something happened. Whatever will we do? The little baby Yoshis decided it was a good idea to go play hide and seek in the worst fucking places. Inside an underground cavern? What is wrong with you? Sushi decides to join us for a bit just to get the babies back, then she's off to do her own thing. Sushi is a mobility partner, at least in the overworld. We can now traverse the water. Really wish it wasn't the slowest fucking thing ever. In battle, she focuses on flopping and doing extra damage to fire-based enemies. Oh, she also can increase Mario's defense, which is really cool as well. After suffering for a little while, all is well in the world. We talk to the big man himself, who wants to help us get into the volcano. Whoa, 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 I didn't want that kind of help. Slow down there. Apparently he had a pocket dimension down here because he pulled out a statue from thin air. We must go see this guy named Raphael the Raven, who's like a god to these guys. He'll help us get into the volcano, I'm sure. Sushi absolutely refuses to go into the volcano with us because of something so minor like severe heat. Mario puts on his manipulation gloves, and now she's one with us for real this time. Lovely. Push block puzzles. Climbing the giant tree reminds me a lot of that one level in Banjo-Kazooie. It's irrelevant, but I thought I'd mention it. Raphael the Raven is the greatest character in this game. I love the character design so much. He summons his little friends, and they use their weirdly human-looking feet to waddle down below and build a zipline. Alright, we can finally enter the damn place. We get some more Colorado abuse, and obtain this item called the Ultra Hammer. Just like with any hammer upgrade, no new moves sadly, just gives us the ability to break these blocks. A few more zip lines, Colorado abuse, and push block puzzles later, and we find ourselves at the boss, the Fire Piranha. You know, one thing I have to mention here is that I don't know if it's the emulation or not, but I don't remember the frame rate here being this bad. It's kind of hard to hit my action commands at half the frame rate when the game isn't meant for it. This guy spits fire at us with both him and his little buds. Sushi is like a godsend in this fight due to her damage buff against fire enemies. I love how Colorado randomly just barges in here and gets immediately destroyed by the lava. Finally, the game can go back to a stable frame. Sorry, my bad. There's a second phase. Guess we'll stay this way for a little bit. It's just more of the exact same, except they will get stunned immediately if hit with any type of water. So it's literally a free fight. It goes down for real this time. After being forced out of an erupting volcano, we obtain our next star spirit. We now have the ability to gain 20 HP from being kissed. It's just that easy. What the fuck is even happening at this point? I don't get it. There's always room for game shows. I'm not your host today as I'm actually playing the game. I like how the game just casually tells the player how someone would get into the place known as Flower Fields. Shh. We don't know what that place is yet. For winning, or I guess participating because everyone's a winner, we get this parasol. I like how he tells us what it does and not to use it the way it's intended. Alright, back to Toad Town. What's the end of a chapter without a confrontation from Junior Troopa? Looks like he wanted to fight Mario so badly, he swam on his own to the island and then back after realizing he left. What a trooper. Because of this though, we actually have the easiest fight since the beginning. His health is halved because he's exhausted. Something you can do because chapter 5 is over is fight an optional boss known as Koopa. Guy is one greedy turtle, I'll tell you that. After dying to him once and then realizing how the fight worked, I just gave up on using my partners since they kept getting knocked out, which means he would only use his one move that did the least amount of damage. Power Bounce wasn't as useful here because of his defense, so Power Smash actually came in handy. Interesting fight. I kinda wish there was more to it though. His AI was easily outmaneuvered to earn that sweet, sweet victory. Yeah. Chapter 6 is by far my least favorite chapter in the entire game. The concept of it is really cool, but I just don't like how it's done when put into action. The first part is completely fine if you're just exploring throughout the rest of the game. You've got to collect 4 magical seeds from these bulb guys. If you are just trying to get through the game, then I mean good luck finding these guys. Lots more backtracking for you. Anyways, once you've got said seeds, just go on through this door and we are now in a completely different world. Mario, I think you've taken way too many shrooms. Lay off the super shrooms, man. Flower Field's under attack by some cloud guy named Huff and Puff. We've got to make it up to this area by climbing a beanstalk, but to do that, we've got to go through a lot of backtracking. This is a very backtracking heavy chapter by pure design, not some oversight. The game has several quests within here that require you to go back and forth between these long areas and complete specific other quests to grab key items. A seed, fertile soil, a water stone. I love the design of these places. I just wish I didn't have to walk back and forth constantly. We've got to help out the sun, who's just sad for some reason. I guess clouds were too much for them, so we've got to destroy this machine that's artificially creating them? What the fuck? Okay. Guess it doesn't rain here. Sorry, my bad. I guess we gotta fight this Lakitu looking guy. Choose a fucking name, will ya? Is it Spike? Is it Michael? Is it Lester? Weak fight, man. This guy does literally no damage, and Bo takes up most of his health. I guess his girlfriend really didn't want us to murder him, so I guess he joins us as an ally. Okay, so his name is Lackluster. Lackluster is the most lackluster Lackluster is the most lackluster partner in the entire game. His whole thing is that he can throw spinies at enemies or blow them out of battle. I'd probably say these are incredibly useless, like normal, but then you have his move, Cloud 9. This decreases the chance Mario will be hit by an attack. This move right here is the only reason I used him so much at this point in the game. I don't think he reaches the likes of Bo or Watt, but this one move is absolutely phenomenal. Breaking the cloud-making machine brings the sun back. Before planting my key items, I decided to grab the final upgrade, the Ultra Boots. I'm not sure at what point you're supposed to actually grab these. Could be after Chapter 6, but I wanted them now. I remember the fight against Huff and Puff being way harder. When you attack him, several tinier clouds will pop out. If you don't annihilate them, Huff and Puff will suck them in, replenishing all of his health. There's a sex joke somewhere in there. Lucky Lester comes in really handy here. Since I'm practically invincible, I almost never get hit by any of the moves these guys are ditching out. Eventually, he'll go down, granting us our 6th Star Spirit. We gain the ability to stop enemies. Useful. I swear. You wanna know what happens in the Peach interlude? Nothing. She uses the umbrella and transforms into a few guards. Then she gets caught. Visiting Merlin for the first time in the entire game, this ninja needs our help. He came all the way here just to try and get us to come to Starborn Valley. Looks like Merlin's son needs some help. The one time where pipe travel is indeed more efficient. Looks like the mayor is dead. You can tell because he has X's for eyes. I just couldn't bear his loss. I sat here and contemplated the death of the dear mayor for 20 minutes. It's just too bad they took him away from us. Fly high, man. Awesome, I'm a murder suspect. Average day for Mario. I mean, violence is usually the answer to our problems, so I can see why I'm a suspect. Looks like our victim was clutching a piece of paper in his hands with the name Herringway written on it. That must be our guy. You know, I think breaking and entering might just add fuel to the fire. I swear it's for the investigation. Oh, hey Herringway, how's it going? Must be nice being a murder suspect. Why does this guy have a retractable staircase in his house? I guess he really wants people to leave him alone. Turns out he wasn't dead at all. Just kinda hit his head grabbing a gift off the shelf. Alright, enough of that. Let's get a move on. Hey, Junior Troopa, looking for a fight again? Dude is a mage now. If only he wasn't so easy to defeat. These enemies might be just as bad as the fuzzies. Piranha plants suck so much. These guys aren't too bad. They do a shit ton of damage though. Ooh, look, it's a ghost. Ooh. I love how scary he looks, only for him to do 1 damage. Monstar was actually just a bunch of tiny stars put together to help scare away anyone trying to invade the area. Merle says that the last crystal star, the Star Spirit, is located in the Crystal Palace. Thanks for the scarf, man. I'm gonna need it. The Crystal Palace is a really short dungeon. Most of it is dialogue and dealing with duplighosts. Sorry, Bombette, I don't use you. How was I supposed to know your text patterns? Man, they aren't even trying anymore. I think this guy is the real Cooper. Go away, duplighost. You did that on purpose, didn't you? You know me so well. I love push puzzles, especially when they take absolutely forever. The Crystal King is probably my favorite boss in the game, although sadly you can cheese the AI by doing just way too much damage in a single turn. The amount of times the Crystal King will attack is dependent on how many of these little bits are summoned. Really cool idea. Also, when his HP gets low enough, he'll start splitting his body into clones. It's too bad you can easily negate this with one power shell. And he goes down, granting us the final Star Spirit. He allows us to turn enemies into stars. What the fuck does that even mean? Peach gets tied up, and that's all we need to know. Looks like it's time to head back to where it all began. Fuck, fine, I'll climb all the way to Starway. You know, this might be the first and only Toad-in in the entire game that isn't run by a Toad. If Toads can somehow make it across the entire ocean to some remote island, I'm sure he could handle being up here. After making our way up here, we are blessed with the final power, Starbeam. It's purely to be used on Bowser whenever he uses the Star Rod to become invincible. Alright, that's pretty much it for this chapter until Bowser. This is the only chapter where most of it you are riding on Lester. At some point we take a quiz and yeah, I'm just incredible at quizzes. As you can see, 3 anti-guys are nothing compared to the power of Cloud9 and Watts. Since they are an absolute ton of dry bones, Bombette shines the most here since we can actually obtain the star points dropped from them by blowing them up. She also does 17 damage to them. The final encounter with Junior Troopa is the hardest this guy will ever be. Since he's swapping between his several movesets, the difficulty ramps up ever so slightly, unless you're me. Cloud9 is just ridiculous. Alright, Peach is tied up, so it's time for a final encounter with Bowser. He makes himself invincible with the Star Rod, but he's no match for the power of literal gods. He goes down, and of course that's not it. Why would it be? The real final Bowser is literally invincible. Can't do much to this guy because it's scripted for the first half. Twink helps out Peach and they kill Cammy. He gets more powered up as Peach continues to wish for him to get stronger. Really? Okay. So Peach then decides to wish as hard as she can to grant the Star Spirits more power. Starbeam gets transformed into Peach Beam. Honestly, I think it should have been just called Twink Beam. Sounds a lot cooler. This phase is the exact same as the one before. Using the same strategies as before is enough to tank his health. I guess he can't handle the power of the bounce. We finally get the Star Rod back, and the journey has finally come to its conclusion. The whole place explodes and Peach's castle just sits there in midair. The Star Spirits and Twink go back to Star Summit. Afterwards, we have an epic party at the castle, and the game officially ends here. Since Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door Remake came out, it's been taking me a while, but I've wanted to take a look at every Paper Mario game. These games are some of my favorite Nintendo games ever made, and having the ability to share my love for them while also making fun of them a bit is something I'll always be grateful for. Coming back to Paper Mario 64 after 4 years has made me fall in love with this game all over again. I definitely believe there are some issues with it, but that doesn't stop it from being an incredibly charming game with a phenomenal, albeit limited, combat system. I definitely prefer a lot of things in TTYD compared to 64, but the original Paper Mario is definitely my favorite game in the series, hands down. If any of the games deserve a remake next, it's this one. I'd love to see a lot of the issues fixed or at least changed a bit to make them feel a little bit better to experience. Backtracking isn't a bad thing, just a bit tedious when you're doing it constantly. Let's hope the remake for this game, whenever that happens, gets the same love and respect that the Thousand Year Door remake did. It's time to bite the bullet and play this game. Yeah, after looking for like 30 minutes, I can't find it. It's gone. I would say it's a blessing in disguise, but I guess I gotta invest in a new copy of Sticker Star. So, fuck that. I want to thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as it helps me tremendously and will get me more noticed within the ever so random YouTube algorithm. That shit's a real gambling man's game. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will hopefully be coming out soon. Have a great rest of your week. Bye bye.